There's been racism in my comment section, and if you know me, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of racism. What I am a big fan of is arguing with idiots. So today, instead of ignoring these comments like I probably should, I'm making this video calling them out. Last week, I posted a short video talking about how a number of indigenous artifacts that were held in the Vatican for about 100 years are being returned to their original communities in Canada. And man, did that offend some fragile internet snowflakes. Most of the foolishness going on was perpetrated by these two gentlemen, who combined for 18 comments on a video with only 69 in total, showing just how much they care that the indigenous communities in Canada not be given back the items that they literally made themselves. So let's go through a couple of the points they made. If you give these objects back to the natives, they'll just sell them for profit. This is the easiest one because it's fucking nonsense. I actually looked, I couldn't find a single example of a repatriated artifact being sold for profit by its native community. Do you know what I could find is numerous examples of native groups pushing to prevent the sale of these artifacts by the people who currently possess them. This argument is a figment of your imagination. Grow up. These objects weren't stolen, they were purchased. These objects were taken in the 1920s, a time when indigenous cultural items were being confiscated by the government and the church alike, such as in the infamous potlatch ban, which outlawed indigenous cultural objects and practices and resulted in the confiscation of hundreds of items. This was done explicitly to suppress native cultures and assimilate them into quote-unquote more civilized Western culture. Some of these objects may have been given as gifts, but the power imbalance in such exchanges makes them highly suspect. Indigenous people are freeloaders, they aren't even self-sufficient anymore. This chucklefuck actually said the words that the Canadian government has destroyed them through benevolence, which would be the dumbest thing I'd heard all year if not for politics south of the border. Let's take a second to look at why they stopped being self-sufficient, shall we? Could it be because their traditional methods of fishing were banned by the government, resulting in the loss of their primary food source? Could it be because the sled dogs on which they were reliant for their nomadic way of life were slaughtered en masse by the Canadian government in the 50s and 60s? Could it be because the bison on which they relied for food, clothing, and shelter were driven to the brink of extinction? Could it be because they were literally prevented from practicing their traditional ways of life? No, it couldn't be. It has to be because they're lazy, right? All this to say, to those who want to be racist in my comment section, with all due respect, which is none by the way, kick rocks.